Hello everyone, welcome to this short session on common gate amplifier derivations. So we will estimate the voltage gain, input impedance and output impedance for a common gate amplifier employing a N-channel MOSFET enhancement type. So let us check out the circuit diagram for a common gate amplifier. So in a common gate amplifier, the input is applied to the source terminal. The input is applied to the source terminal and the output is sensed at the drain terminal. And at the gate terminal is capacitively coupled to the ground. So we have our coupling capacitor CG, which is, connecting the gate terminal to the ground, to the AC ground, basically. Fine. So this is how the circuit of a common gate amplifier looks like. Now what we have to do is we have to convert this into a AC equivalent circuit. So for AC equivalent circuit, all the capacitors in the circuit and the dependent voltage sources, the constant voltage sources, will be replaced by a short circuit. Here the CC1 and CC2 are the coupling capacitors and CG is the bypass capacitor, we can say that. Now, as we said, for the AC equivalent circuit, all the capacitors over here have short circuited and the independent DC supply also is short circuited. So this is how the diagram will look like after the changes. Now, what we have to do is we have to replace the MOSFET by its small signal hybrid pi model. So how does the model looks like? Over here, the marked in purple color. So between the gate and source, it's an open circuit and we have marked the voltage VGS. Between the drain and source, we have the current, the current source, which is voltage dependent, which is given by GM into VGS. Now we will look into the remaining part of the circuit components. Now at the gate terminal, if you see carefully, at the gate terminal is itself connected to the ground. Okay, so your R1 and R2 registers will become redundant. I repeat, gate terminal is connected to the ground by this AC equivalent circuit. So in the actual circuit also, the gate terminal is connected to the ground. What about the drain terminal? So from the drain terminal, we have one resistor coming up, which is RAD, and in parallel, we have a V out. So from the drain terminal, we have RAD and V out. Now let's look into the source terminal. From source terminal, we have a resistor, which is RS coming in, connected to the ground. And in parallel, we have a voltage source, AC voltage source V in. So let us see to it. So from the source terminal, we have a resistor RS. In parallel, we have a voltage source V in. So this entire circuit, if you see together, this becomes the small signal equivalent circuit for a common gate amplifier. Now, let's use this circuit, common, AC equivalent circuit, the small signal equivalent circuit, and find out the expression for the voltage gain, input impedance, and the output impedance. So let's first go into the small signal voltage gain AV. So small signal voltage gain will be given by V out divided by V in. So we have to determine the relation which relates V out to V in. Now, a quick observation we can do over here is that the voltage across this resistor RD is V out. So what will be the current flowing through the resistor RD towards the ground? It will be V out divided by RD. Now, from this circuit, can we say that, can we relate V in and VGS? Yes, we can. Because as you can see, the gate terminal is connected to the ground. And here the, V in other terminal is connected to the ground. So if you see carefully, V in will be equal to minus of VGS. I repeat, even if you apply the KVL at the gate source loop, you will get the same result. We can say that from looking at the circuit 1B that V in is equal to minus of VGS. So that's the first observation we write over here. V in is equal to minus VGS. And then we apply the KCL at the drain terminal, at the D terminal. So what does the KCL says? Incoming current should be equal to outgoing current. So over here, there are two outgoing currents, GM VGS and V out upon RD. So GM VGS plus V out upon RD should be equal to 0. So that's what we write over here. GM VGS plus V out upon RS. Actually, it should be RD, not RS. Let me change that. It should be RD. Yeah, I have confirmed it. So let us change that to RD. Just wait a second. Okay, let me copy it again. Yeah. So GM plus VGS plus V out upon RD is equal to 0. And what is VGS? VGS is equal to minus V in. So we can write minus GM into V in is equal to minus V out upon RD. From 1.1, we can write that easily. So if you collect the terms of V out upon V in, you will get GM RD. So if you look carefully, this is similar to your common source amplifier, but your minus sign is not present. So the small signal voltage gain for a common gate amplifier is given by GM into RD, which is given by equation number 1.2. And now if RO and RL were present, the voltage gain will be given by GM times RO parallel to RD parallel to RL, which becomes equation number 1.3. Now, let's next look into the estimation of the input impedance. So for estimating input impedance Zin, we have to consider the entire small signal circuit inside the box. We apply the external test source Vx to the input terminals, and we measure the current Ix. So your input impedance will be Vx divided by Ix. Now, one thing to note is that while focusing on the input impedance, your output of the circuit is not the focus. So we can neglect what is connected at the output. So here we have put the entire small signal equivalent circuit inside the box. Okay. And somehow we have interchanged the Rx and Vx over here. You know, earlier in the small signal equivalent circuit, Rx, Rs and V in are connected in parallel. So even if we interchange these two connections, it won't make a difference. That's what we have done over here. V in we have replaced as a test source of Vx, and the current flowing to this is Ix. So basically, we have to determine Zi. So Zi will be equal to Vx upon Ix, and Zin will be equal to Rs plus whatever is Zi value. So that is what we have done. Now this we have interchanged because Rs is in parallel with Vx. Okay, so we consider Rs before Vx value. This is to simplify the analysis. So now we have to determine the ratio of Vx upon Ix. Now, from this circuit, what can we write? Can we write Vx is equal to minus VGS by applying the KVL at the gate source loop? Yes, very easily we can deduce that VGS is equal to minus Vx from the circuit number 1.C. So that's what we have written. And now we apply the KCL at the source node. So what does the KCL at the source node gives you? Ix plus GM into Ix is equal to GM into VGS. Okay, so we can write Ix plus GM into VGS is equal to 0. Okay, so here we can easily write that both are incoming currents. So we have written over here KCL Ix plus GM into VGS is equal to 0. So Ix will be equal to minus GM into VGS, and we know that Vx is equal to minus VGS. So Ix will be equal to GM times Vx. So what will be Vx upon Ix? 1 upon GM. So what will be Zi? Zi will be 1 upon GM. But we have to calculate Zin. So what will be Zin? Rs plus Zi. So that means it will be Rs parallel to 1 upon GM. Okay. So actually it will be parallel to, okay, Rs parallel to Zi. Okay. So it will be Zin, the input impedance of your common gate amplifier will be Rs parallel to 1 upon GM given by equation number 1.5. And this Rs value is quite low. Also the 1 upon GM value is also quite low. So this input impedance of a common gate amplifier is a low value. Okay, we cannot say extremely low. Yeah, we can say that it's a very low value, very ideally close to 0. Fine. And now let us go next and estimate the output impedance. So again, with the output impedance, we consider the entire circuit, small signal equivalent circuit inside the box. And we apply the test source Vx at the output terminals, and we measure the current Ix. So Z out will be given by Vx upon Ix. For estimating Z out, we have to note that additionally, V in has to be made to 0 or has to be set to 0. So we put the entire circuit inside the box over here, and we put V in equal to 0. So, and we apply at the output, instead of V out, we apply over here test source Vx, and we measure the current Ix. So Vx upon Ix is supposed to give us Z out terminal. I mean the Z out term. Now, since V in is 0, now V in and VGS are related. V in is equal to minus VGS. We have seen that before. If V in is 0, VGS will be 0. If VGS is 0, GM into VGS current source also will be 0. Okay, so that means GM into VGS current source is 0. It has to be replaced by open circuit. And when we do that, we get the equivalent circuit in this form. When we replace GM into VGS by open circuit, we get the equivalent circuit as follows. And now it is very easy to estimate Z out. So what will be Vx upon Ix? It will be just equal to RD. So your output impedance of your common gate amplifier will be Z out equal to RD. Now, let us answer one quick question, that why input and output are in phase in a common gate amplifier. So let us try to understand that. So before that, some notations. So the voltage at the gate terminal is Vg. The voltage at the drain terminal, we are calling it as Vd. And the voltage at the source terminal, we are calling it as Vs. Now let's say that your V in increases. Now you note that if V in increases, V in writes on the Vs. Okay. By the time it reaches over here, it gets mixed with the DC value of Vs. That means if V in increases, your source voltage also will increase. Okay. But your Vg value does not change. Okay. Because it is, since a capacitor Cg will block the DC value. As you can see over here, the DC value of the Vg will not change. So that means even if V in increases, Vg will remain constant. So that means as Vs increases, Vg being constant, what will happen to VGS? Since Vg is a constant and Vs is increasing, VGS term will decrease. Now, ID is given by Kn times VGS minus Vtn the whole square. Now, if the VGS is decreasing, your ID will also decrease. And we know that what is the drain, the formula for Vd at the drain voltage, it is given by VDD minus IDRD. So from here, we can say that if ID decreases, your Vd term will increase. And what is this drain voltage Vd connected to the output? So Vd contains both AC and DC. So if Vd, whatever happens to your DC voltage Vd, same thing will happen to the V out. So as you can see, we have started with V in increasing and we ended at V out increasing only. So in summary, we can say that as V in increases, voltage Vs increases, gate voltage remains constant. So your VGS will decrease. If VGS decreases, ID will decrease. If ID decreases, your drain voltage will increase and hence your output voltage will increase. Therefore, we can say that the input and output are in phase with each other in a common gate amplifier. Okay. So let's ask another question, that input impedance in a common gate amplifier is very low. Is there an application of such a circuit? The answer to this question is yes. Now look into this diagram over here. So here we have an antenna, and antenna output impedance is 50 ohms normally. And we have to connect an amplifier whose input impedance is as low as the antenna output impedance. That means if my input impedance of this amplifier connected to the antenna is 50 ohms, we can say that whenever we connect the antenna and the amplifier, there is an impedance matching and there is no loss of any information. Okay. So basically what we see over here is that this amplifier might be your common gate amplifier, because for a common gate amplifier, your input impedance is quite low. So an antenna has a low output impedance, that is R out is equal to 50 ohms. So if an amplifier has to be connected to this antenna, its input impedance should be almost very low, equal to 50 ohms. And this is possible if your common gate amplifier is utilized. Okay. Since the common gate input impedance is quite low, it can be driven by a low impedance antenna. Okay, so that's where we can use a common gate amplifier circuit in spite of input impedance being low. So it can be driven by a low impedance antenna. That's the application of your common gate amplifier. So we have come to the end of this session. We have seen the small signal equivalent circuit for a common gate amplifier, and we have estimated the small signal voltage gain, input impedance, and output impedance for the same. So that's all for this session. Next time we will start with common drain amplifier. So until then, have a good day and thank you.